Okay, good morning. All right. What do we got going on in the markets today? Well, Nvidia came out huge. What did they actually report? Um, nice. $1.09 based on a 61 cent estimate. Man, that's a rocket ship. I know that and yesterday I was like, I have no idea which way this thing can really go. So, you know, certainly wish I would have said back up the truck, but this could have gone either direction. But wow, that's amazing. I think the trick and I'll with this is initiating activity. And when I say initiating activity, just and now is it still probing higher? We'll take a look at this overnight trading and see if it's in truly uncharted territory, if there's something historical that can give us some idea what this looks like now, what this range looks like now, and let's look at overnight, right? Okay, so overnight trading looks like it may have. This looks like it's kind of peaked. It's kind of topped out, right? So you had this after the reaction over the close, overnight trading grinding away, and so it's kind of exploring. Not that it's looking down to this point of control again. That's not at all what I'm suggesting, right? So you got a distribution around here. So this guy might be the new normal for Nvidia. How about that? And let me get my notes out. The 5-day, that looks, that's not giving you any real direction either. It's just new. Just because we do, let's look at the 10-day. Yeah, same thing. All right. Okay. So, all right. Well, if we zoom out, it's never been here anywhere close. It's initiating on a 90-day basis. And on a 1-year basis, I mean, what do we got? We're all the way out to new territory. Yeah. All right. So, all right. This is just a wait and see, right? It's either a catch. It could be a catch a falling knife, or not a catch a falling knife. Whatever the opposite of a catch a falling knife is. trying to catch a rocket, but it'll settle down and eventually, and we'll maybe get a new sense of direction. It's certainly it's getting plenty of attention. I mean, my sense is this is the AI wave. All right, so let's do. And I saw a comment in here. Of course, if anybody has anything else. Well, Ma, I'm not sure what you're apologizing for. I'm glad you're here. Let's see. All right, and we got Bill, Margot. I guess there's a Roger Scott thing going on here. So, okay. All right, what else do we got? If you guys have any names to look at, happy to, of course, drop them in the chat. This is looking. Okay, we are at the point of shorting below. I like it. I like shorting the S&P right in here. I like the idea of that. Let's go down. But this isn't a convincing short. You got this over the last 10. I mean, you got a decent amount of trading up here. So I take that. Yeah, that's 5-day isn't telling us anything. Hey, Oslo Willow. Sorry, guys, my dogs. I would, if it gets, below 41, and no, even I can't even say that. Possibly we could be looking at 41.26 at the end of the day. But we'll just have to, Nvidia is that's some real numbers, and that's a real direction where the market is going. Right, that's how you play AI, is through processing power. Right, you got to be thinking of if you think about resources, right? It's easy to think of oil as a resource that you want to play, and oil companies as resource stocks. Flops. Floating operations per seconds, right? That's how you measure the speed of chips. That is how that's a resource too, right? So that's a resource for this. It's always been a resource for this economy since we got into the internet age, and now for the AI, it's certainly a big driver. sorry, I'm basically talking about NVIDIA, right? But its impact on the broader market and all these tech stocks. Look at this gap though here on the 90-day. All right, I think here's what I think is happening with this kind of ambiguity on the 10-day. We've got the debt ceiling. The day the money runs out within the scope of the next 10 days, right? So this is very relevant, right? So people are saying, "Oh my God, will they settle the debt ceiling debate? That may not really. Oh, it looks bad, and it may not necessarily be a good thing for market anyway. Oh, NVIDIA earnings are great and tech is doing great." So there's a lot of narratives competing for dominance in equities right now. I think over the next couple of months, this right here looks consistent with my we're not going anywhere support through summer, right? So I think we're still I don't expect higher highs, from the last 3 months going forward, and I don't expect higher highs. And sorry, the dogs found a squirrel, and we're gonna, this is good support. 39, 38.50. That's really good support. Although I think it's going to be a little bit closer to 4,000 as the support number, but it could certainly break through. All right, let's just keep chugging along here. We've been looking at the macro a lot. Let's take a look at let's just take a look at a few sizzle stocks. See what's happening. Okay, that came up fast. What do we got? Adobe. Okay. Adobe. No bias there on the 30-day. Adobe, ADBE. Sorry, I'll try to be better about mentioning the tickers. Nothing here. 5-day. Nothing here. 1 day. Yeah. Nope. I don't think there's anything to really say about Adobe. All right, let's move. Let's keep on going here. Analog devices. Oh, they reported this note. Can I get? They haven't. It's not. Oh, okay. 274 and 283. All right, so they beat, but not by much. I guess they look like chump change compared to NVIDIA. Let's go to 10-day. Now, all right, nothing seen there. Here, here's what I'm going to do this kind of the old school way. I'm just going to zoom through these and see. Okay, so on the 30-day I'm just going to scroll through these until I see something that looks interesting. C3AI. Oh, okay. Let's AI here. C3AI. AI, the ticker for C3AI. Let's see. We have a little rejection here. And 1762 looks like it could be relevant. Let's see what the shorter term says. Not quite. This could be new consolidation right around in here. This looks like a decent range it's filling out. I mean, you could argue that maybe it's going from 28 to 22, but that's the new range. That's what I don't think that's really worth trading. Something's going, so it wants to make a bit of a move one way or the other. You got all this trading right in here, and that maybe that was what it popped it up, but you can't infer anything bearish out of this. And I think what we've got here with AI is it's digesting a new range, right? So even here, this is on the 1 day. It's interpolating this $25, which this looks like it's going $25 on the day, but I don't know if there's enough juice to squeeze there. All right, let's just keep going. AMD. Okay, well that one's another. That's just going gangbusters. Let's look. It's a little bit of trading going on here. This is the one you just have to watch. You can't. Again, that extreme consolidation, right? A lot of trading and then pop. Problem is, it's hard to tell sometimes when you see these building which way it's going to pop. Right? Yeah, the market's still deciding if it likes AMD market's deciding if it likes AMD at these levels. So okay, nothing there. Arista Networks. Here we go. So this is interesting. We've got possibly some extreme range here, and would it rather be at 138? Okay, let's see. Ooh, that was past 130. It didn't quite get there. that was a pretty good call a while back. When was that? Oh, this is early in the month, beginning of this month. 5-day. Yeah. Okay, so we got this could pop. This looks like it could pop a little bit higher on the day. All right. But that's which here's what the market's probably chewing on this level up here. So, all right, nothing clear there. I tell you what, it's interesting on how these. Okay, Boeing. No real direction, no real bias. I mean, no real bias on the 5-day. This is really hard to tell. Yeah, so no real bias here on the overnight. Let's zoom out. Oh, wow, look at, okay. Now, this range could be really something up here. Let's look at the 180-day. You can't get any. Look at this. This is 180-day. Look at this range. We'll just churn and churn and churn and churn and churn and churn. I mean, what is that range? That is roughly. I had an old alert there. What is that? 193 to 211, right? That's fairly. It's not a huge range. It's just chewing on this level. So nothing. See nothing to break it out. Best Buy. Ugh. I don't know. I said, well, let's take a look. Well, we're not finding much today. Anybody got something? Got something? This is a 10-day. You see algos popping in, boom, at these spikes right here. It's generally bearish, but and 1 day. No, nothing there. Okay, I'm just not seeing anything here. All right, I'll tell you what. We've got. Let's. I'm gonna kind of let me look and see just a couple big names, but I'm just not finding anything here. Microsoft. All right, here we go. This is finally starting to look like it's topping out. Exploring the top end of this range below 305, which it never quite got. So that was good. Let's explore this. Let's see what can we do in Microsoft here. There's a trade to be had. It might just be, again, looks like this is slightly bullish. Here's what I would say in general: the whole sector, the whole tech sector, all these AI related, all these AI adjacent names, right? I say AI adjacent, right? Because it's not the sole focus of any of these companies, right? But they are all beneficiaries of. They are all either upstream or midstream players in the information processing space, right? In the AI space. So upstream being NVIDIA and AMD making chips. They create the floating operations per second, right? They mine the floating operations per second. They develop those resources, and then midstream players like Microsoft and Google, Apple, because they help move AI to the consumer. Give me 1 second here. Willow. It's a beautiful day. I can't help but work outside. I got a beautiful patio surrounded by trees. It's gorgeous out in the country. I can't help but work outside on days like today. Okay, so so Microsoft, everything looks like, whatever gains they've made in the last week or so, where they've really popped. They're still deciding whether or not they like it. All right, so this looks bearish longer term, but the market's really deciding whether or not it likes this range here on Microsoft. So this is everything looks, all right, so I bet we're going to see the same thing on Micron Tech. So this looks like, okay, a new extreme range, and maybe this is relevant, but no, it's no longer relevant. I bet. Because look, this is, does it like the temperature up here, right? All right, there's no bias. It's like, all right, this is pretty good. I mean, it might trade in this narrow range, but same thing here. A little bit, looks like a little bit of rejection, but this could easily just be really nice support for a new level higher, right? I mean, this point of control right here could be 66, could be a very relevant price for the long term, and there's just not enough trade to go from 70 to 66 on this thing to really do anything with it. And I wouldn't bank on that being a long-term relevant. See here, you got fading, even though this looks good overnight. What it really, boy, the market's really liked NVIDIA earnings and what that says. And it's supporting the whole sector. God, boy, I tell you what, we're not getting trades, but we're learning a lot about the market, right? And what's kind of really driving it. And then you can start following the argument from there. Did I miss a few? Oh, Ma, I'm sorry. I think I heard your text, your message alert. How's SMH looks like now in the context of NVIDIA? That is a great question, Ma. Let's take a look. That'll be the last thing we do. I think I've kind of beat this thesis into the dirt. And although I do want to look at bonds now, I think we need to look at the debt ceiling thesis too. Van Eck Trust Semiconductor. Yeah, okay, so sweet. All right, so here we have the same sort of thing. Looks bearish, but on a 30-day, but pop. This is new information. All right, let's look at 10. Yeah, this, I don't think this range is relevant. There's not a whole lot of bias, but a slightly bearish to bullish, not a whole lot. Yeah, not a whole lot of bias, but a slightly bullish bent, right? Same thing. Nothing, maybe this 130, here we are on the 5-day again, and this 133, could prove relevant. This could be a little extreme, but there's not enough to do it. Consider this like a decent range. I think that's what the last 5 days spelled. If I wanted to say something clear, and I know I come across, I speak in very abstract terms sometimes. So here's what I would say. The last 5 days trading has determined a new range, a near-term range for tech, right? Beyond that, the overall beta, right? It's overall market sensitivity to things that are affecting broader markets could dominate. Debt ceiling could dominate, but right now you have a lot of interest in these upstream and midstream. They're being viewed now as upstream and midstream players in the AI space. That's and that the last 5 days has really spelt out a new range for them. See, even here, look, it really likes this, right? This is 1 day on SMH. So this is great, Ma. Thank you for dropping that one in here. I'm so glad that you guys give me ideas like this to kind of make connections, because that's really important. All right. Love it. Love it. Okay. In the absence of any other requests right now, let's just land this baby on some macro issues. Okay. Like, let's look at rates and some commodities. All right. Let's start off with 10-year treasuries, 10-year treasury futures. All right, so this is the 1 day. All right, it's probing. It's trying to jailbreak it is probing new lower levels. Let's see how it looks let's just start zooming out. But I think, it's God, we're down at 112 now. Setting up for another leg lower, right? All right. And it has this 5-day. Okay, so this is in stark contrast to the way those tech names look. Like you've got this building volume down on the last 5 days, right? Not that it can't go back, and I don't think it's going to test 113 again. I think right now, I bet this is effectively the high, 113.03, 50. These are small moves, but this whole thing is setting up for even more downside pain. Let's zoom out. Yep, build. So this is the opposite. I've often talked about how you see these little islands of consolidation that really just build on momentum. Consolidation, but less volume. Consolidation, a little bit more volume. Consolidation, even more volume. Break. Consolidate, even more volume. Right? You guys, this is TBT is keep shortening it. Look, on the 10-day, this is what, 111.18 roughly, 111.19. Totally possible. So, for you guys wondering, TBT is the one you can buy puts on TBT. TBT is a long bond, right? That should get you there. Oh, I skipped. Oh, I skipped ahead. Okay, so we're moving out. Here's the 30-day. Well, let me go back. So here's the 10-day. I said building. All right. Boom, pointing to 111. That's on the 10-day. 30-day. So setting up for another leg lower. We're down here. Interesting. How is that? How is my one? I'm just not seeing. So look, it's not interpolating as much. Yeah, we've got some urgency here. So here's interesting. So based on the way the volume's distributed over the last 10 days, right? It's implying 111.19 as a bottom end of the range. Actually, it's pointing all the way down here, but this was just my observation of where it's totally possible, and it still is, right? So the 10-day is saying, oh my God, this thing could go down to 111.05, which gives you a sense of the momentum, right? Because if you look at a 30-day, it's not even on the chart, right? This is the older digested news, a lot of trading volume, right? And it hasn't. So a lot of the future direction, the current mood in treasuries has been dependent on the last 10 days, right? It implies something lower. So yeah, this is all just momentum building. And maybe we've got some support at 112.17, but look at this. It's looking back, and this is only 90 days, right? Oh, let's look at the 1 year. Let's look at 2 years. Okay. Building. Yeah. So, we're going back to lows that we put in. What was it? October. Yeah. Let's look at the 1 year. Kind of zoom in a little bit. Yep. This whole thing. Oh yeah. Yeah. See how easy that looks within the context of last year. Oh my gosh, this is so good. It was so good and clear. I almost want to end on that, but let's look at gold. Let's look at gold, and then I want to look at oil too, just because I feel like a glutton I'm a glutton for punishment. All right, gold. Yeah, easy target on the 10-day. So gold still probing lower. Hope you guys have 10. Easy target on 10-day. Look, this is building here on the 10-day. Yeah. This one isn't as clear. This 5-day here isn't as clear. Let's see what the 1 day says. Yeah, don't expect a whole lot more today, but let's go at the 90 day. Yeah, I think so. Here's what I think you have going on. All right, so you get the tech AI argument on the on bonds, right? You got the debt ceiling, higher rate type of, whether it's driven by credit issues, right? Credit spreads go out. If we're a default threat, right, and we get downgraded, right, the yields all go higher. There's a massive crowding out potential for when the debt. I wrote about this yesterday. There's a we discussed this on Roundtable. And there's a massive potential for crowding out of the bond market because the Treasury is going to come in and issue, $1 trillion worth of debt to raise cash, right? And so that issuance boosts, drives yields higher. Higher yields, and especially since we're talking about higher short-term yields, makes the dollar at least buoys it, right? So we're not talking about, the market isn't worried about the long-term effects of purchasing power. It's not worrying about inflation. Inflation isn't driving these yield concerns, right? Or at least the market's not interpreting that way. And that's why gold isn't, the dollar's hanging in there. Gold is soft. Treasuries are soft. There is, there's this yield advantage that benefits the dollar right now on an international level when you're thinking about interest rate parity between currencies. So anyway, look at this. Well within range. All right, so I'm still thinking short gold. All right, should I do it? Should I look at crude oil? Are you guys prepared just to be entertained and not really listen to what we see? Because I don't want to call these markets. I don't want to guess on gold. Pretty strong support. Well, I guess that's right. It hasn't traded at. All right, let's look at gold. Let's go down and look at 30 days. All right. This looks bearish with a 64 from 72 to 64. That's tradable. But I've gotten sucked into this before, but just sticking to the data. If I didn't know this was crude oil, right, I would say this is a very nice bearish setup with this building momentum, right? I kind of appear, okay, so this was a different attitude. Now building, it's momentum, increasing volume to the downside, right? In spurts, so that's just building momentum. 10-day, it implies lower. Not massively so, but it implies lower. Nothing there on 5-day. It's possible happy spot on the 1 day. So again, you look at these, if you ignore that this is 1 day versus 5-day, you can kind of, provided there's enough trading, you're just looking for these patterns and then just apply them to the time frame. This is all new. It's consolidating down here. If you think of the last 24 hours, it's consolidating, deciding whether or not it really likes this spot. It's kind of forgotten in the very near term about 73, right? It's really just contemplating, hey, is this good? Are we going to break lower, right? You need, it's not like it's an overreaction that needs to correct. It's just waiting on new data, so to speak. The 90-day, it looks supportive. So he had the 30-day looking lower. So, maybe we're going from 72 to, 68. Right. So this 90-day kind of puts in a good lower range and might set up for to explore this move higher. Okay. Yeah. No, that's interesting. Okay. That's it. That's been a half hour. That was good discussion. Sorry we didn't come up with more trades this time around. Although maybe you guys there's stuff going on in gold and treasury still for sure. And if I was more confident about crude oil, it looks like I don't know if there's enough juice to squeeze there. And look at this 90-day. It's going to break. My guess is this night. This pressure continues to build for a while, and then we've got a big break to the low side. That's what I would say on the S&P 500. So maybe you can do something like that. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Call it a day. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, guys. Take care. Bye.